So what happens if people get stung by a scorpion?
Okay, so scorpions don't bite, scorpions sting. So when a scorpion stings, they all have pinchers. And so what they typically will do for their prey is they'll grab the prey and hold it, and then with their tail, they will sting the prey.
Okay.
Prey will ultimately die, and then the scorpion ends up feeding on it. They literally will rip it apart with their mandibles and pull out the innards. Cool graphics.
Yeah.
I hope it's not breakfast time for you.
Hi, I'm Kenny Klaus, and this is State 48 Homeowner.
Welcome back to State 48 Homeowner, and today we're going to turn on the black lights and we're going to talk about scorpions in Arizona. Welcome back, Dave Burns from Burns Pest Elimination.
Hey, thanks, Scott. I appreciate you having me.
So, how often do you actually go out with the black light? And
Me personally?
Yeah.
Actually, at least once or twice a week because I do my own home.
Yeah. Do you find them on your property?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I live on a lake community in North Phoenix, and we find them out by the lake, the dock, all the time.
I find it fascinating. It's just so cool how they illuminate.
Yeah. That fluorescent is it's amazing how far away you can pick it up, because you'll have the black light and you're like, oh, I must be missing something. All of a sudden, 6, 8, 10 feet away, it's boom.
Yeah.
There they are. He's on the wall.
So I spent the first 30 years of my life in California. I'm now about 20 years in here in Arizona.
Congratulations.
It's been a game changer, obviously. So in California, scorpions are about 3-4 inches long. They're big and black.
Yeah.
And they're pretty mean looking.
Yeah.
And then you come out here to Arizona, everybody's like, oh, you got to watch out for the scorpions. And the first time you see it, you're like, oh,
that
look at the
thing,
little guy.
Isn't
Oh,
he
he's
cute?
cute. But yeah, they are something to fear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're the bark scorpion, which is the most prevalent indigenous scorpion we have in the city, in the communities.
Mm-hmm.
We have some desert scorpions that are big,
Yeah.
4 or 5 inches long. The desert hairy, we don't see those very often inside. They're much further out, and as we build, we keep pushing them out.
Yep.
They're not very comfortable in our environment. The bark scorpion, completely opposite. They love what we have.
Crickets,
ants, any soft-bodied insect. That's why they're there. We provide them. We provide them food. We provide them water, and we provide them harborage. That's all they need for life.
and they don't seem to mind when we build.
Nope. No, if you disturb them, they'll run away, and they'll just find another place. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, give them a little bit of time, and they'll be back into the same area. Something most people don't realize is in a normal environment, a scorpion's territory is only a few feet. They don't like to get out of more than 3, 4, 5 feet of area, and because they'll hunt, they'll have their food and water and shelter all right there. They don't need to move. When you make a change or you apply a pesticide or something that causes a repellency or a need to move, you get rid of the crickets and the ants and other soft-bodied insects. The scorpion will then have to move because they're going to look for new food. You seal off an area that the scorpion's living in, then they're going to move. They've got to find a new shelter.
And we'll see that when we have an established neighborhood and a new build community is being built nearby.
Yes.
And the bulldozers come in and start turning the land, then all of a sudden those people will start to see scorpions.
Yeah. Everybody's running, to a more established safe zone. So you'll have the same thing if you or your neighbor re-landscapes their house. My next door neighbor just took out all the grass area and took out all his turf and relayed grass. It was a little cooler on his backyard. When he pulled that turf out of there, holy cow, we had scorpions running everywhere.
So let's, before we talk about remediation and what to do, let's talk about how do we know if we have scorpions?
Well, hopefully you see it before it stings you.
Yeah.
Either way, you're gonna know. Most of the time, Scott, we see them. We see them at night. We'll walk into a dark room, flip on the light, and we'll see something shoot across the floor. That's how you'll typically see it. Lots of people have become accustomed to black lighting, so at nighttime, you take the kids out, you make it a family thing, and you out and again, physically they'll illuminate under a black light and you'll see them. You'll go out in the yard and you'll move something, maybe some cushions or something that has been sitting on a chair, or some debris or a paint bucket or something that's been sitting on the ground, and you decide, time to clean up the side yard, Scott, get out there. And so you go out and start moving things. Then, boom, underneath that in the protected area, you're going to see that bark scorpion start to scurry around.
If we rarely hear crickets?
Crickets are a primary food source. So that's one of the means in which to control scorpions. If you control their food source, they're going to have to spread their hunt area out. And more than likely, if your home doesn't have a lot of scorpion or other food for them, they're going to move over to surrounding neighbors' yards or other areas.
Hey everybody, if you're thinking about buying a home in today's market, we've got over 1,500 homes valley-wide that have interest rates less than 3%. To find out more information, go to state48lowrate.com.
Okay. So what are ways that we can remediate?
Well, so historically, we've used pesticides and exclusion or sealing as the primary means of taking care of a scorpion problem. Make sure you don't have a lot of debris or things sitting on the ground. Anytime you have a hole or a crack or weep screed or things like that, you would clean those up, seal them up so the scorpions can't enter the home. Windowsill seals or door sweeps, those are all critical. The other side of that is it's going to help save you some money on your energy. But that's how the insect gets into your house.
So when we talk debris, most Arizonans are going to have gravel running right up against the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plant life. We try to create shade. The shade stops the sun from beating in on the west side of our home. So we'll get plant life to grow up over. Well, if we allow that plant life to actually be really close or attach or touch the structure, that's where our scorpions are going to start to be able to come in and out and again, ultimately intrude into our life.
All right. So you talked pesticides. What kind of pesticides?
Well, we look more at what your yard looks like for the type of pesticide application. So lots of pesticides will kill a scorpion, but not all pesticides will stay on certain types of surfaces. So for example, an organic surface, your yard, there's a pesticide that will stay in the organics and be there for a while. That pesticide doesn't like to be on concrete or a hard surface. It will deteriorate in the sunlight just literally within hours. So we have other pesticides, other formulations of pesticides that are more adapted to hard surface or porous surface. So we really have to look at the specific type of surface we're treating. Then we apply the pesticide and the pesticide formulation best suited for that application.
Okay.
That's why it becomes one of those do-it-yourself things that usually aren't very successful, because a homeowner isn't going to go down to the big box store and buy 3 different types or 3 different formulations of a pesticide.
Okay.
They buy, imidacloprid or, some type of a pesticide and go, yep, this is good. We're going to spray it on everything. Great. That stays in the yard for a long time. It's gone in an hour on the concrete or the pavers.
Okay. And we can spread stuff out?
There are granular products in certain types of environments that work well.
Do they work in Arizona?
Again, some environments they do. Say around plant base, where there's a lot of organic, and we want we don't want things. We've got a water source, so we don't want to push it into the way deep in the soil because the scorpion's on the surface. A granular product would be a good application in that point.
And what are those products like? What do they do?
Well, so it's a granular product is normally a clay-based hard product that's impregnated with some form of a pesticide that over time is allowed to get out and leaches into the organics in very small quantities. It usually lasts a long time, and it usually isn't affected by water, and it has very little effect by sunlight.
And there's some products that will injure the scorpions too.
Yeah, so
right?
The diatomaceous earth and things like that. Those are products that imagine taking a shell and crushing it into a powder form. Well, the powder form of something that hard it's not dirt. It doesn't just crumble. What it is, it's a very sharp object that stays in that form. Not sharp enough or large enough that it can affect us, but it will affect the scorpion as they crawl across it. It creates incisions in the or cuts in the ectoskeleton, which causes them to dehydrate.
Okay.
Most people think that's very safe, though. You have to be very careful of that, because if a pet gets in that and sniffs it up, the dog sniffs it into their nose, it can be detrimental to their lungs. Absolutely. It's not designed for that. So all pesticides, regardless of whether they're toxic and chemical or cause other reactions, all of them have some form of safety that needs to be followed.
Hey everyone, this is Kenny Klaus with Klaus Team Real Estate Solutions. We know there's a lot of confusion in today's market, whether it's billboards, TV, radio, mail. Everyone's trying to get your attention. They offer one lane, where at the Klaus Team, we have over 20 different programs. We can help you navigate through to find out what's best for you. And remember, we work for you, they work for themselves. We're here to represent you and make sure you have the best experience possible.
Visit us at klausteam.com/callusfirst. So what happens if people get stung by a scorpion?
Okay, so scorpions don't bite, scorpions sting. So when a scorpion stings, they'll have pinchers. And so what they typically will do for their prey is they'll grab the prey and hold it, and then with their tail, they will sting the prey.
Okay.
Prey will ultimately die, and then the scorpion ends up feeding on it. They literally will rip it apart with their mandibles and pull out the innards. Cool graphics.
Yeah.
I hope it's not breakfast time for you. And so that's how they feed. So that's the purpose. Same thing if they get into a fight. If they're fighting with a predator, they will use the pinchers to hold or grab, and then the tail to sting. What happens with us is we usually stumble upon the scorpion. He's hidden in the closet behind the box or under the sweaters, and he's going, "Please, Scott, don't come near me, don't come near me." Mm-hmm. And Scott goes, "I need that shirt," and I pull it off, and boom, there he is, and he hits me on the finger. That's usually what happens.
Or walking in the backyard.
With bare feet, and he's going, "Oh my gosh, what's happening?" And he's scurrying, and what happens? Luck be luck, we step on him, or we get near him and we get stung.
So, is it go to the emergency room kind of situation?
Not normally. Here's the thing. People at high risk So we're talking infants, an infant under 6 months, or elderly people that have maybe breathing problems or nerve issues, things like that. Those are high risk. If one of those gets into a situation with a scorpion, we're going to probably make a call at that point. We're probably going to call 911 or poison control or one of those, and we're going to ask some questions. So the professionals can go, hey, look at eyes. What are they doing? How is the breathing? Okay, you're going to be fine, or no, you need to go to emergency. The majority of us, the healthy, a year old to 75 years old, healthy people, chances are you're going to feel some pain, usually Tylenol or Advil.
Might curse a little bit.
Yeah, you're probably going to say some bad things, and if your wife gets stung, she's going to say, Scott, why didn't you call Burns like I told you to last week? There will be some cross anger but more than likely by tomorrow morning you're going to be just fine.
Okay. So let's talk about this cool product, the solution that you have.
This is cool stuff. This is new. So we have been. This is our 41st year in business. We've been killing scorpions for a long, long time.
And so, for people that are just listening to the audio, we're holding what looks to me. We each have a little. It looks like a strip of vinyl.
Yeah, it's actually metal.
It's a little piece of metal. It's colored.
Yep.
They're both tan.
Yep. It comes and we can get them in all different colors.
And it's thin.
Very
and
flexible, pliable, and smooth.
So
that's the secret. The smooth is the secret. So what we've come up with is we've developed a product that we can permanently install in a house around the perimeter, around the stem wall area.
So let's talk about what the stem wall is.
Stem wall is the area between the ground and your actual stucco or brick wall.
Which most people are going to call, they're going to mistakenly call their foundation.
The foundation.
Yeah. We're going to call it the stem wall.
Technically, it's called a stem wall.
Yeah.
Around that stem wall, or the very bottom part of your home, that area down there, we take this product and we install it in a permanent application. Mm-hmm. We actually bond it to the concrete or whatever the substrate is. We bond it on there, and it stays on there. We color match close to the color of your home. So really, the majority of the people that look at it don't even realize it's there. Which,
just so you know, that stem wall should remain painted, and if that paint is faded, we want to make sure that it gets painted again. We want to protect it. We don't want it deteriorating.
That's right.
And if water is getting on it, it's deteriorating, and that stem wall is important to
the overall foundation of our house. Yeah. Yep, that is the basis to the foundation of our house.
It is.
So what we've done with this is called Pest Borders by Burns Pest Elimination. As the scorpion comes to your house, without this, they come to that stem wall, that foundation, and they crawl up it, and then they go in the first holes that they find, which is the overhang of the stucco or the siding, whatever it might be. If you looked right up underneath there, you'll see a gap. That's how they get in your home. What this does is it doesn't feel ultra smooth, does it? But it's a type of material that the scorpion cannot climb up. They get on it and fall off. They climb, fall. They cannot get over this. So now we've actually created a permanent solution that doesn't allow scorpions to get inside your home any longer. That's cool.
And so you guys just you install it, and it's a one-time install?
Yeah, it's a one-time install, and the only maintenance is it needs to be cleaned, a soap and water wash once a year.
Which makes sense because that dirt's going to pile up.
Yes,
and that's going to give them a foothold.
It gives them something to grip to, or if something was to drip on it. If you were painting, if you're painting your house and paint dripped down this, that's enough that the scorpion can grab a hold and get above that.
So if they're planning on painting their house, should be something.
Do the paint first,
yeah.
then call us and do the Pest Borders, and then you'll have a lifetime solution for scorpions. And so once a year we come by and we wash it and we check for the bonding, so that if water was to get back behind there, sometimes we might find small little areas that need to be rebonded.
Okay.
You do that early, then the whole thing doesn't release. We just do a 2-inch section. We rebond it, and it's good to go.
That's pretty sweet.
It is cool stuff. And again, now 40 years in the business, and finally we have come up with a solution that's permanent, that keeps them out of our house. Before it was, okay, let's try to kill them before they get in the house. Let's move that chemical barrier, that protection out a little further and out a little further. And then, over time, maybe we'll keep them at the walls because your neighbor's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. We're always going to have the push in. Now we have a solution that keeps them out of the house. Now we treat the yard as normal. We treat it and kill them, and if more come in, we come back the next month and treat it and kill them, and they, no matter what happens on the intrusion part, they don't get in the home.
And for most houses, this is also going to handle the Arcadia door, the front door, the garage service door.
we have all different solutions of this product to go around. So like inside your garage, we can't do the garage door. Mm-hmm. We have a rubber seal that goes up and down on the garage door. So we come inside the garage and we'll put this around the interior. There's stem wall or bump stop where your car will tire stop where your car is. We put this around. Now the scorpion might get on your garage floor, but it can't get over that to get inside your home. Cool stuff, huh?
Yeah. So if people have scorpion issues and they want to start dealing with those, how do they get a hold of you?
You know what? The best thing to do is give us a call. Our phone number here in Phoenix is 602-971-4782. Or go to our website, BurnsPestElimination.com, and we'll always have somebody there to help you out and find the solution that you need for your home.
Thanks, Dave.
Hey, thanks for having me, Scott.
Thanks for spending time with us this week at State 48 Homeowner, the ins and outs of owning an Arizona home. You can connect with us for more information, submit topics you'd like us to further discuss. You can see relevant videos, give us feedback, answer your real estate questions, and more at state48homeowner.com.